Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today is Christmas in July, day 21. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. This Christmas in July, I am sharing stories about my humble beginnings as a brand new medical coder and some personal stories about myself. So I hope you all enjoy the series and let us begin. Okay, today's episode is all about workload efficiency. So here we go. All right. I have mentioned before a woman named Tina. Now that's not her real name, but she was my partner, my work partner for many years. And I'm bringing her up because a big part of how we were able to make our workload more efficient, because we had multiple clinics. And in my facility, we are assigned clinics, and that batch of clinics is assigned a team of coders. So sometimes it is 2 coders, sometimes it is 3 coders. And the goal is to have 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So one coder is coding all of the active encounters that are coming in for 2 weeks. And then when the next 2 weeks comes up, the coder that was coding those active weeks then catches up on anything that they weren't able to complete during those 2 weeks. So, and then the 2 weeks that is passing that they're not getting active encounters in, they're able to catch up. And so then when the following 2 weeks rolls around, they have to start all over again. So the way it sounds very efficient to do it this way, correct? But when you think about the volume of providers that you have to work with, and so for Tina and I, she had providers that she preferred to work on, and of course I had ones that I preferred to work on. And when you're looking at documentation, for some people, the way that providers document certain information, it gets confusing for some. And for others, it's no big deal. So it really all depends. And then there are some providers that are right in the middle, and they have horrible documentation no matter what. So you have to kind of work with what you get in, right? So because of this, there was sometimes when we were in this setup of 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, that some providers, their encounters didn't get touched as fast. They got touched, but they didn't get touched as fast as they would have liked. So Tina and I started talking, and we started saying, well, what if we split the providers, not just the clinic, but the providers? And I said, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, what if, we have all these providers, you pick who you want to code for 100% of the time. There will be no more of this 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And I go, I like it. And then, so I said, so that would mean that if we have these 20 providers, I get 10 and you get 10. And she goes, yes. And she goes, all the encounters that come in for these 10 providers, you get. And for these 10 providers that I get, then I get all of that. And she goes, I think it's still manageable. It is literally getting what we have, but cutting it in half. And this way we're not slowing down. We don't have to slow down because there's providers that you like that you'll work on faster than you will other ones that are just, I gotta take a little bit more time, so I'm gonna wait on this one. I said, okay, that works. And I said, I like that idea. So we started to split the providers, whoever we wanted, right? And so we're looking at this, and I'm just using 10 as a round number. It was more than that, but I'm just using 10 as a round number. So I took who I wanted, and she took who she wanted. And we didn't really fight over a provider because she had her reasons for wanting certain providers and I had mine, right? And she goes, well, what do we do when we get a new provider in? And I said, well, that would be where we take turns. So like I would get the first provider that comes in that's brand new. And then if there's another one, then you would get him, right? And she goes, that'll work. So we worked that out really good, And so there was a couple of providers, actually there was 4 of them that neither one of us wanted. So what we did was we put those providers like in a hat, and then we had somebody else pick and say, okay, you know, this is for Blue, and this is for you, Tina. This is for you, Blue. This is for you, Tina. And I'm like, man, you know. And she was like, man. She goes, why do I have to get this one? And then I said, well, it's even. You know, we're both even. So that was how we were able to make the workload more efficient. But now check this out. So a side benefit of doing this workload this way is that now I don't have to concentrate on all these other providers. I can just concentrate on my 10, right? Again, it's just a round number. So I can concentrate on these 10. I, in turn, can build a relationship with these 10, and I can tell them information. I can give them, they know that they can come to me whenever, and we can just do something like that. And so that was a good setup. And so what I did was, and what she did was, we emailed the providers that we were doing this, right? But we did tell our boss that we were going to try this. She at first was like, no, y'all can't do that. And so Tina explained to her the efficiency that was going to be able to occur. She said, you know, there are some providers that Bleu is really good at interpreting what they're saying, where I don't understand what they're trying to do here. And she goes, and so there's an efficiency to that. She will be able to get through those quicker, and I will be able to get through these quicker. And we can just pilot this. Let us do this for a month, and you'll see how many encounters get coded faster just by having it set up this way. Because if we have these providers that we can focus on, then we already know their habits. We know how they structure their note. We can get used to them. They can get used to us. And it's not us trying to have 20 or 30 different mindsets. It is literally down to 10. Again, the round number. And so at first my boss was like, I really don't like this. I'm uncomfortable with this. She said, it's just because it's new. Tina had a way of schmoozing, right? She really did have a way of schmoozing. And like I said, for everything that we had, our ups and downs, me and Tina, you know, we did have some good times. And I think that was one of the best things that we did, because we were able to build on our own those relationships. And when we sent out information about coding or whatever, we could still confer with each other, but it didn't have to be this back and forth, long drawn out process where, well, no, we shouldn't do that. Then it would turn into, okay, they can get this information directly from me. This is where I got it from, and we're good to go. And so it worked perfectly. You know, we started to do this, and she was like, okay, well then, our boss was like, okay, then send me the list of providers that each one of you has. So that way, when I pull for the audits, I know who did it. Because instead of just relying on a calendar, I'll be able to look at the list and know, okay, if it's this doctor, then I know it's Bleu. Or if it's this doctor, then I know it's you. And so she was like, okay, cool. So we contacted our providers and told them what we did. And we said that we're still here for everybody. This is just something that we are going to try to do to make our workload more efficient and to make us a little bit more faster with getting through these encounters. And so it worked out. I mean, it literally worked out. And we were grabbing 100% of them in record time. And so it wasn't taking quite as long, you know, because it was just the way that it was set up. So that was a good team effort that we did. And when we hit 100% on a week, we celebrated. We were like, we did it. We totally did it. And so to hit it as fast, of course, because of course you do this, right? But to hit it as fast as we did, it was remarkable between the two of us, you know? And so there was some other girls that had heard about what we were doing. So they in turn did that in their clinics. So it is all about trying to find the most efficient way. If the equation changes, right, but the end result is still the same, to me, there's nothing wrong with it as long as everything is still getting done. And at that point, everything was still getting done. So, you know, it worked out very well. And being able to have those one-on-ones and and building those relationships with my providers. And it wasn't just, well, you know, if this person says one thing or this other person says another thing, you know, it was literally, okay, you have your assigned coder, here I am. And that was that. So I enjoyed that very much. I liked it because it was just like, we got this and we got it down really good. Again, I had a lot of fun times, you know, so that was just one of them. But yes, making the workload to where it's most comfortable for you. And sometimes, you know, throwing a new idea out there to your supervisor is really what is better sometimes. Because sometimes if things are done the exact same way, you're always going to get the same result. If things start to flag and you just, you know, it's not as exciting, you know, but if you try to change it up a little bit, try something new, you never know what those results could lead to. And for us, it led to increased productivity, and it led us to hone in on those relationships, which that is the key to successful medical coding, is getting that communication down. So, but anyway, that's my episode for today. So thank you guys so much for joining me. We only have a few episodes left. I hope you'll catch up on the other episodes as well. Please like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye!